Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today is July 10th and I'm here to do another quick update of the garden. Okay, so today we'll start over with the cucumbers. So I just tied up a bunch of the cucumber plants, and I'm noticing as I'm tying them up that I have a whole bunch of cucumbers started. This was my first one that I noticed a little over a week ago, and it's gotten pretty big. But most of these cucumber plants have little cucumbers on them. There's one right there. So these are muncher cucumbers right here. And then down a little bit further starts the national pickling cucumbers. And for my tomatoes, this is the tomato that I always take pictures of, and he's still pretty big. Hasn't started blushing yet. Tomatoes are all looking really good. I have a lot of them staked. I still need to figure out how I'm going to stake the rest of them. One thing I guess I didn't think about when I was setting up my garden and starting everything was if you have 100 tomato plants, you probably need 100 stakes or tomato cages or some way to trellis them. So yeah, I'm still working on that. I might just go through some of the brush on the side of my yard and see if I can't find some really big branches to use as stakes. But yeah, 100 tomato plants. And all of them are looking really good. Down here this morning, I found a fused blossom that I didn't notice back when everything was starting. But this is what a fasciated or fused blossom looks like once it starts growing. So it looks like two tomatoes, but that's actually one tomato fused together. But that's what that looks like. So that's just two blossoms fused together. I have the one that I showed you guys last week where it looks like multiple fused blossoms. Probably like, if I had to guess, about 6 of them. But yeah, everything is growing really well. All these tomatoes are looking really good. We have quite a few tomatoes. Like I said, I'm just waiting for that one to start blushing. But yeah, lots and lots of tomatoes going on here. These are all big rainbows that I was just showing you. These so far were the first producers, and they're doing really well. Over here we have some, I believe these are the black cherry tomatoes. Getting quite a few on there. Let's see, over here, what do we have? A couple more tomatoes. These are Brandywine tomatoes. And these are the Ukraine tomatoes. And then down here at the end, I have, these are the green sausage tomatoes. So my first 3 rows of tomatoes are all doing really good. They have fruit on them. Starting at row 4 right here, it's a little sporadic, but we do have tomatoes on those plants as well. So that's row 4 right here. Row 5 is here. This is that really giant fasciated blossom right here. I don't know if I can get a good view of it, but you can see it's already started to grow tomato on it. So that one's going to be pretty interesting to see when it's done. This is row 6. All tomatoes, looking good. My peppers are doing really well. I actually have jalapenos that have started, and I found some cayenne peppers that are started. I don't know if any of my sweet bells have anything on them yet. They have some buds, but I don't think I've actually seen any peppers. What's this? Probably a jalapeno. Yeah, the jalapenos always grow really well here. It's the sweet peppers that I've had trouble in years past. If I do get any peppers, they're always really small, very small peppers. But I think part of my problem in the past has been that I don't start the peppers when I should. I should have started them a lot sooner. And I think even this year, these are all from seed, and I think this year I started them in mid-March, and I probably could have started them actually in February. But I'm learning. Yeah, more peppers right here. This row doesn't look quite as good as the other row. But this corner of the garden gets a lot of shade. It gets the first shade of the day. So that could be contributing to why they're smaller. And here's the newest corner of tomato plants. These are looking good. This one right here wasn't looking so hot a couple days after I put it in, but everything is starting to perk right up and look nice and healthy. My bush bean section, we actually have some small beans that are starting. So I have one right here. And then I just noticed a few minutes ago, we have a bunch over this way as well. There's a couple on that plant. So those are turning out really well. I love growing bush beans. It's probably one of my favorite things to grow. For one, I love just picking them and snacking on them when I'm out in the garden. And then two, they seem to be the easiest thing to grow. You just throw the seeds in the ground and they grow, and not really any maintenance to it. At least not that I've ever had to do. Okay, and last week I was really excited because I found a watermelon. So this, I believe, was the first watermelon that I had found. But then a few days later, I came across a couple more. So all 3 of my black diamond watermelon plants all have watermelons on them. So this is one over here. And then where is he? Somewhere in here is another watermelon. There he is. That's the biggest one so far. I have these 2 cantaloupe plants. I haven't seen any fruit on those yet. And my 8-ball zucchini, still doing pretty good. And then my yellow or golden zucchini, golden squash. We've already harvested a couple of this yellow squash. And then I have my patty pan over here, which is doing really well. I have the one really big one, and then another little small one right there. And then this is my other patty pan, and it looks like right there we might have a patty pan. I think that's the first one on this guy. And over in this section, so my peas, I have sweet peas right here along the edge, so those are all getting pretty big, trying to reach out for the fence. And then I have another section of bush beans that I planted a little bit later than the first batch. And then that is my volunteer tomato plant. It's getting big. My fresh basil and bushing onions. And then if you guys remember in the last video, this is my Tiny Tim. He didn't look really good. I didn't have a lot of dirt in the cup that I started it in. And I think he was just left in there way too long. But since I put him in the ground, he's starting to look really good. Looks nice and healthy. Like I was saying, these are very resilient tomatoes. I actually love this plant. This is one of my favorite tomato plants. And then the other ones that I'm really excited for that are also doing really well are these three here. This one in the cage, and then the next two. These are the Berkeley tie-dye tomato plant. I see this one is starting to get some flowers on it. The other two, they have little buds on them. That one does. And that one has a couple on it. And then we'll show you. So this is one of my jalapenos. Got a few on there. Right there's another one. That is a jalapeno. And then down here is my cayenne. So this is the first cayenne that I saw. So I have this one. I think I found one on another plant somewhere over here. Oh, I don't see it right now. Oh, there he is. So right there's another cayenne starting. But yeah, that's where the garden is at this week. Hopefully we'll be able to start harvesting some tomatoes next week. If not next week, hopefully soon. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the first couple rows to start blushing, but I feel like they should be there soon. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. And everyone have a great day. Thanks.